Yo, I'm here with Mr. Freeze, man.
How you doing?
Do you approve of my Code Comic show, Mr. Freeze?
The Cole Connor show?
Yeah.
Sure.
Damn, if Mr. Freeze approves my Code Comic show, y'all need to watch it. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Hood Rap Podcast and the Code Comic Show, where we look at books that were at the top and now are not, and books that have fallen a number of spaces but are staying in the top 100, where you can get the best deals, and maybe some books you forgot about that are in that freezer of yours that are behind, you know, that cold milk and that frozen steak and that frozen orange juice. You know you have that in your freezer. But those books that you get deals on. But how you doing, Space?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm good, bro. We got some news, right? We got some news?
We got some news. Yeah. We're gonna have our Cole Comics show up on Go Collect's page. So they're gonna have a couple, all the blogs section, all the posts that they do, the different videos explaining what's going on. They're gracious enough to put our show up on there and some links to it, and kind of let us write a little bit about kind of what we've been talking about each week. And so that's another way to access it, not just through Hood's YouTube channel, but you'll be able to go to the Go Collect site, be able to see that it's up on there, and that way you could forward the link to your friends. But still forward the link to your friends from Hood's YouTube site too, so that way we share the love everywhere. But we wanted to give a shout out to Go Collect, say thanks for doing that for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Sarah, for helping us out with all the stuff, the inner workings that's going on and stuff like that, and navigating and helping us with the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, man. We took this from a small little show in 6 episodes to having a blog on Go Collect. So it's big for us, man. We're a mom and pop show, bro. That's all.
That's right. We're amped. We're amped.
We're amped, man. But no matter if we're on a website or we're just here, mom and popping on the Hood Rat podcast, how do we keep it, bro?
Man, we keep it cool.
Always, bro. You gotta keep this damn cool.
Always
cool.
Always.
All right, guys. The first book up we have is a classic, man. A super classic that I'm still searching for my collection. Do you have this one in your collection, Craig?
I do not own this book. I never have, and I don't know if I ever will, because it's a pricey one.
Yeah, man. It's a book that pre-COVID I should have bought, man. After COVID, it's a very hefty price tag on this book. And this is the Giant Size X-Men. This is a first appearance of the new team, and a first appearance of a lot of classic characters in Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Thunderbird, who only lasted a couple issues after this one, man. And they're saying this could either be the third or the second appearance of Wolverine. I
don't know, man. People say like the second or third, like you're saying, but to me, it's like, wouldn't the chronological issues of Hulk after 180, 181, 182, those would be the first like three, right?
Yeah.
And then this would be a fourth thing, in my opinion. But
man, I'm confused too. But if you let us know in the comments, man, what you think appearance of this is for Wolverine, man, and we'll just agree with you guys, because
sounds good.
We'll leave it to the arguments in the comments. This is also the first appearance of Illyana Rasputin, and this is the introduction of Krakoa. This was first published in 1975. This is writer was Len Wein, and the author was Dave Cockrum on this. The cover price for this was 50 cents, man. Super classic book, man. That is not in my collection. I'm still searching for, but I'm very interested in their prices. So let's see what's going on at Go Collect. All right, guys. So here comes the pricing for that we have here on Go Collect, man. So it looks like on for CGC we have about 13,000 copies. Total graded. 9.8. There's 232 of these, man. So it's not a super rare book at a 9.8.
No.
What sells about 112. The FMV on this is about 28K. The 1 year average, which means there's probably maybe a book or two sold this year. It was $33,600. So yeah, that'll get you a nice little new Honda. Sounds like,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. Yeah, that's a
You know?
Civic.
That's a Civic. That's a Civic for sure, man. The
Yeah.
9.6 there's 416 on the census. The FMV on that's 11,500. The 1-year moving average is $11,339, and the 90-day average is $10,144. But the book that I'm kind of looking at that's a sweet spot for me is the 8.0, man. And let's look at those numbers. There's 977 on the census, which is about, I think would say like the fourth highest, if we're looking at 9.8 to 6.5. The FMV is $4,700. The 1-year average is $3,889, and the 90-day average is $3,960. I'm kind of looking at that one, man, because the FMV on that one is, a bit higher than most on the list, and I think that one, there could be some equity on that if you can get that for about like, I would say $3,500, man. But if you look at the prices on these, man, it's, the prices are, they are in the red, going, but they're not in the red as much as most books. So this book is, actually keeping up with its popularity, man, within the comic book community and within collectors, because it is a super classic book, that I would love to have in my collection, and I'd actually love to read and smell, because
it smell for sure. Yep.
Yeah, it would have that good 1975 chronic smell, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that stinky paper smell that we all love when we're digging. Yeah, that's a good spot for that book. I think you're right. That 8.0
Run 8.0, man. 8.0's a good. Yeah, that's a respectable,
for sure.
grade for this book, man. I just remember the stories that Uncle F talked to us about. Past Point Comics. He grew up in San Francisco in the Bay Area, like I have, and he told me, man, he went to a comic book shop when this came out, and there were stacks of them, and he only got one. So yeah, man. I wish I could see stacks of these too. I would grab like a handful, man. But classic book, right?
we all have those stories though too, right? We all go in and like we all see a key. We know it's a key book, and you buy like one or two, and you're like, oh, cool, might go somewhere. But then 5 years later it blows up or something like that. It's the same kind of thing. It just happened a little bit earlier. That's all.
Yeah, man. But this is a super classic book that neither me or Craig have. That I hope one day I can bump into, man, for a decent price.
For a good price, yeah. I think that's a good fair offer, especially because people are it's a buyer's market right now, and people are pretty motivated to sell. So you say, hey, I got $3,500, $3,600. I'll take that 8.0 off your hands. I think people will probably want to move at that.
All right, guys, checking out the eBay sales on this giant size X-Men. I kind of put up books up there that are achievable for the average person. So on October 22nd, we have an 8.5 that sold for $3,333 on 37 bids. On October
there it is,
2nd,
right there. Yeah,
right there is, man. Right
there.
That's right there, bro.
Well, you called it.
Yep, that would be a good price, right? For this one, man. Yeah. About like 3,500, right? That's what I would kind of grab this at.
Absolutely.
And look, man, it went on bids, so it's achievable, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
And we have a 6.5 that went for $1,900 on October 22nd. These are all for October 22nd. We have a 9.0 that went for close to $5,000, man. So
Jeez,
you want to, that's not bad. That price right there.
That's why I was saying, geez, that seems low for a 9.0 but hey, good on that person. One bid.
I know, one bid, them, bro.
Man.
Yeah, they had it for I guess that person was hoping that he would it would open up a little bit more, but dang, you got a really good price on that 5.0. I mean that 9.0 for $5,000. And on October 22nd, we have a 7.0 that sold for $2,700, man. $2,701 to be exact on 70 bids. They went after that one.
Wow,
look at that, man.
They were chasing it. Yeah.
Chasing that 70 bids, but a $40 shipping. So I know that's a lot for shipping, man. But you better ship that thing.
It is. Yeah,
you would put that in a big old box. Yeah, put a
Yeah,
big old box with
yeah,
a lot of bubble wrap.
yeah, and
Um,
gyroscopes and stabilizers and
bro, just drive it to me, man, for 40 bucks,
yeah, so
bro.
for that much, right? Yeah.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
Just like come over, like jump in your Honda Civic you just bought, or
Yep.
you put a down payment for, and drive it over,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
40
We'll have a
bucks.
barbecue. You can give me the book.
Then on October 23rd, check these out, man. The Raws are going for even,
Wow.
a pretty decent penny, man. So a 501
Yeah,
for two
dude.
grand, bro. You could have got for $700 more. You could have got a 7.0 already slabbed. You
Yeah,
know,
and you could have gotten a 6.5 for cheaper.
you're
You
right.
know,
Like yeah,
like
about a hundred
what do you
dollars
like?
cheaper,
Yeah, dude. That's the way.
dude.
Like,
Like
man, yeah.
I know.
Wow,
I mean,
that's surprising.
people gotta like shop a little bit better on eBay, bro. You know.
Yeah, especially for this book.
Then on the 22nd, one went for $1,136. Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, that one doesn't look like it's in good. I could see some stuff on it,
Yeah,
from here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
so
looks like it's got some like schmutz all over the edge
yeah,
and
especially on
the
the
spine and stuff.
spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean
I don't know about
that
that
I guess
either.
that's fair. And then
Hmm.
another one went for on October 21st went for $999.95. Look at that $5 shipping, bro. Like cool. I could live with that, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
For not that $40 shipping, bro. Like come on,
No,
man.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
And
But
then
I always worry when I see that, $5 shipping that somebody's gonna put it in like I got some books shipped to me once and they were in a cereal box.
really? Oh yeah, I remember that post you had, dude. Yeah, the
Yeah,
cereal
yeah,
box.
dude. Yeah, in a cereal and I was just like, dude, are you kidding? Like, and there was no bubble wrap or anything. It was just like loose inside the cereal box, all taped up, just banging around. I was like, that when I see stuff like that, that's what I worry how it's gonna get shipped. If they put
Oh,
$20 shipping, usually they're gonna take a little bit better care of it.
but man, I got charged for like $15 shipping once, and then they sent it to me in a Manila envelope, bro,
No,
with nothing
dude,
in it.
yeah. Oh
I
my
think I put
God,
that one
that's
on
crazy.
just somewhere on my Instagram, bro. I was
Oh,
like, oh
I'm
my
gonna have
god.
to look. I want to see it.
I know, bro. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh man, that's
Then
crazy.
On October 15th, man, the final sale we have up on here went for 2 grand with $12.55 shipping. They said it's a nice copy, nice enough for 2 grand, man. So
Yeah, it better be for 2 grand.
so I think really shop around, man. Like
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I mean I feel bad for this guy right here, man, that bought that 5.0 when he could have got that 6.5 for $100
yeah.
cheaper
For
slab.
for for cheaper, exactly. And another thing about this book is I said the same thing I think last week with Hulk 180. There's a lot of these books out there, even though there's that many, however many, 13,000 of them graded. This book was heavily printed, like you were saying. F saw stacks of them when he went to that
Mhm.
store. So like, there's a lot out there. This is the time frame when people really started taking care of their books a little bit better, and I think that if you just have a little bit of patience, if this is one of your big books that you really want, have some patience, seek out that like really nice looking copy and put your best offer in for it. All right, guys, next book we got up is Amazing Spider-Man number 238, and this is a classic Spider-Man book that's been homaged out the wazoo, right? There's so many, like every time somebody's gonna do any kind of reference to two characters fighting, this is a one that they think of to do. And this classic first appearance of the Hobgoblin, right? Ripping Spidey's apart
Mhm.
on the cover. Um, you know, this book was at number 60. It fell 32 spots to number 92. And that's a pretty steep drop for this book. This book has staying power, just like Giant Size X-Men. People are always hunting this book, but they're always hunting it with the tattoos. If it doesn't have that little tattoos insert inside, it's not complete. You're not going to get the blue label. When you get it slabbed, they want those complete copies. So if you see one of these and it doesn't have those, you might want to, put in a much lower offer on it, because that's the real big kind of selling point of this book being complete and having that insert in it. Besides what's going on actually in the book itself and the awesome, truly awesome cover of this one. But yeah, so that's a little kind of brief
Yeah,
brief on that
that
one. But
I mean, I would even get like a low grade with a tattoo in it, man, and a high grade
oh yeah,
without it.
me
You know?
too. Yeah, I take like a 4050 as long as it was complete versus one without, because the difference in the worth of the book is just so, it's such a far divide if you don't have those tattoos actually in it, you know. Do you have this one in your collection?
Yeah, I have this book. It's like a 5.0, but it has the tattoos in it. You know, so
That's what
yeah.
matters. It's complete. Yeah, I have this one too. This is actually it's in my collective collection with my wife. This is one of her favorite books. So this is actually her book. It's in her collection, and I think I think it's like a 9.2 or 9.4
Wow.
maybe. So yeah. It's pretty. It's good looking. It looks almost like a 9.8 when you look at it, but there's just a little bit of stuff on the back. But yeah, I'm stoked to have it because it's just such a awesome, awesome art on the cover, you know.
And it's
But
complete,
as you
bro.
can see it, yeah, I'm stoked on it. As you can see though, it fell 32 spots. So let's kind of dig in and see what's going on with this book. All right, and you can see that right there. It says key issue. Go Collect's got it up on the screen. First appearance of Hobgoblin, Ned Leeds. Classic John Romita art on this. And it came out February 28th, 1983. It was only 60 cents.
Wow.
Still a little bit right before I started collecting. I think books were about 75 cents or $1 when I started collecting. So just right before. But you can see universal copies. There's only 2 9.9s on the census and none in 10.0. So this is a tricky book to get in that high of a grade. You can see the most that are on the census are that 9.6. So people are really, submitting quite a few of them and just falling short just a little bit. But you really want it in that 9.0 to 10.0 range, which there is none, but 9.0 to 9.8 range. 9.8s, 721 of them are on the census and 335 sales. That shows you this book is moving quite a bit. FMV is 1950. 1 year average is 1917. So it's just about, it's kind of staying steady at that part for the 1 year.
Steady Nelly, bro.
Yeah, exactly. This one cruises. People are always looking for this book. So they're always looking for Giant Size X-Men #1, but they're really seeking out this book. This is a little more affordable option, especially if you're a big Spidey fan, right? But 90 day on that 9.8 is $18.98. 30 days just about a couple $100 short of FMV at $17.42. 1,726 9.6 is on the census.
Ton.
And yeah, there's quite a bit. That's the highest number of this book graded in that grade on the census.
Man,
but
that grader of this book, bro, is, man, that's a
it's like shows you it's people those graders are harsh when it comes to this, because that many people are submitting and they're not getting those 9.8s. They're getting those 9.6s.
Look at the price. Look at the differential between the FMV of the 9.8 and 9.6, bro. That's pretty big.
Huge. Huge. It's more than half. Usually usually when you see the 9.8, 9.6, especially on a key book, it goes for a little bit more than half, but this one is definitely more. The FMV on this one's only $700, and that's actually down from the 1 year at $800. Up from the 90 and 30 day. That's right around 650, 675 ish. But for me, that's the sweet spot in this book. If you're the Spidey fan and you're hunting all those Spidey keys, I would go for this in a 9.4 or 9.6. 9.4 FMV is $525, and you save another $175 and you get yourself a 9.6. The divide between, like you said, that 9.6 and the 9.8, it's pretty big. It's pretty wide valley to try to jump across. But there's a lot of 9.4s and 9.6 on the census, so that's a good thing about it. 9.4s are 1641 on the census, and 9.6 they're 1726. So there's a lot of them out there. Just have that patience, like we were talking about, and you can get that book. If you don't care so much to have it in that high of a grade, and you want it in like a 9.0 or better, a 9.0 FMV 350, that's relatively cheap for this kind of big of a book. So that's not bad either, because there's a pretty decent amount of those on the census as well.
No, I agree with you, man. 9.6 is that sweet spot, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I when I was looking at this a little earlier yesterday, I was like, man, you could get rid of a couple books that you don't care about as much if you really wanted this, and have a good chunk of change to put down for that 9.6. And who knows, you might even be able to score a little bit better than that. We'll look at the eBay data here in just a minute, and we might be able to see a little bit better sales or see what's going on. All right. Tale of eBay says, just recently, October 19th, a 9.8 went for just under $2,000. And
Wow.
so that's right what Go Collect's saying. They're dead on with that. But somebody got an 8.5 on that same day. Best offer accepted for under $299. I bet you they threw $250 out and they got an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm thinking $250.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal for that book, because your 9.0 is looking at what did we say, 350 for the FMV. So we're kind of looking, right under that, $100 under that for half a grade down. I bet you might even be able to get it cheaper. 9.2 on the same day went for under 400. Best offer accepted, right under $399.99. So they got a good deal too, because that, what did we say, that 9.0 is a 350 FMV. So good for them. They probably got it for the 9.0 price. And then another 98 on all those bids, 49 bids on that one there. Yeah,
they were after that book, bro.
They went to town on that one, and that one went for $25.83.88. So kind of went up, but I think people got a little bit of the FOMO on that one. And then the raws on the other side of the screen, you can kind of see just under $100. Somebody got an incomplete one with no tattoos. Like we said, if it's not that big of a deal to you, you can get them under $50. They got $31 with $8 shipping, so all in, just about $40 for a key issue. Somebody got a nice copy. We always say nice. Get your magnifying glass out. Check that out. 185. Not terrible, but you really got to do your due diligence on that and make sure it's a good looking book. And then another one with tattoos. 39 bids again, or 39 bids instead of 49 bids. They went after that one too. 325 for a raw copy sold on October 15th. So that must have been really good looking. Must have had some high res images, and you could really check everything out, because I don't know about 325 on that raw copy. That's, especially off of eBay, that's dangerous.
Because look at the other copies though. They didn't say if they were complete or not. Except for the incomplete one on October 21st. But
Exactly.
So
yep.
Someone may not know what's really going on with this book, so.
No, yeah. Or you know what? It's happened to me too. I got an Avengers 8, the first appearance of Kang. And I generally, books in that time frame, Silver Age books right around there, they are complete. You can tell by looking at them if they're not, generally, most of the time, even just by the edges. But I didn't check it out, and I'm missing a page, so I got a green label on that book. But you really have to make sure that you're looking through these books and making sure that all your pages are in there. There's no cutouts.
They're intact. Your pages
totally intact. Yeah, exactly. No parts of the back covers are cut off or anything like that. Nothing was cut out for the ads or anything. So just make sure that when you are looking through for those prices, that everything is complete, so you don't end up with that kind of situation going on.
And even if you're at a con, like if you're about to buy the book, take it out the bag and board and check, because there's a lot of times where I've checked books and the cover's coming off, like it's barely alive, like it's it's
staple popped or something.
Or it's just like down to like maybe like half a page is about to fall off, so
definitely
buy them.
Definitely check them out, especially if it's a big book like this. I know $300 for some people is not that much money, but $300 for some people is quite a bit of money. So really, like Ian's saying, look through everything. Don't have any shame. Ask to see that book. Pull that book out of the bag. Make sure everything's there. Don't fall into the trap, because a lot of times people aren't going to give you your money back. So there's some cool dealers out there, but some are like, no, man, you bought it. You knew what was going on with it. You could have seen it. So check to make sure they're complete.
All right, guys, before I go to the next book, I got a guest for you guys. I got a guest. He's a real good friend, and you guys are going to love this. But what's going on, David? How you doing, bro?
Surprise! I just drop in. You can't get rid of me. Can't get rid of me.
The man with the prettiest eyes in comics, bro. Right here. David Boer.
You can't. We were just talking about how nice and warm my lighting is. I mean, it's just like, it's like Vaseline on the lens, my friends.
So how's it going, man? What projects you got going?
Oh gosh, the thing that's on the top of mind right now is the Zoop campaign that we're running. I paired up with my partner in crime, Drew Zucker, and our creative team, Vittorio Estone on colors, and Darren Enworld Design, Darren Bennett Studio on letters. That is the entire team behind Canto. And we have come together for a decidedly more grown-up tale, and it is called The Feeding. Right there.
Wow.
There's your QR code. It is a throwback. It's a one-shot horror series, so 32-page story, about 40 pages with back matter and things. It's a one-shot throwback to like EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt, Creepshow, Twilight Zone. It's got all this cool, twisty sort of horror vibes to it. And the story itself is about Nolan Ward. He's an investment banker. He's a drinker, partier, casual drug user, womanizer, kind of a douchebag. But you find out that the reason he does all those things is because he's been dealing all his life with this painting that eats people. And it's followed him around, and it's reappeared in his life, and it's hungry again. So the story is about how Nolan Ward tries to face this painting and figure it out, get rid of it, whatever he has to do once and for all.
Man, sounds interesting, man. Sounds like a book that's that kind of falls in me and Craig's wheelhouse, man. Where can they find this book?
Well, right now it's running on Zoop, so you can hopefully in the show notes we'll have the link to the Zoop campaign. You can find it on all of my social media. That's literally everything that I've been talking about for the last, other than I think a picture of my dog every once in a while. For the last 3 weeks, we have about, as of this recording, we have 9 days left, and I last checked, we have 99 backers. We need to get, there's room for one more. And we're about at 6,700. Our goal was 3,000, and we got that on day one. So we've just been trying to get those stretch goals. If you back the campaign, it's like pre-orders. There's an A cover limited to 500. There's a foil cover limited to 150. And there's a black and white version that's an entire black and white issue featuring Drew's art. And that is limited to 100. And these are all Zoop exclusives. So once the campaign is over, pre-orders are no more. Orders are no more. Those covers are going to go back into the vault. We believe that this is the first step in the life cycle of the feeding. So there will be more variants and more covers coming out as we go down the road. But these Zoop exclusives are going to be gone forever once the campaign is over. So I encourage everybody to go get those pre-orders in. And if we hit $10,000 on this campaign, we've got a fabulous stretch goal. Every single backer is going to get a double-signed Canto San Diego Comic-Con ash can that's limited to 500, and each one is serialized and numbered, so each one is unique. And this was something that we published to preview the new Canto that's coming from Dark Horse in 2024 and beyond. And this is the only Canto that we've ever published that doesn't have a publisher attached specifically to it, because we left IDW and we were getting ready to gear up for Dark Horse. Every backer gets a copy, double-signed copy, if we hit $10,000. So, Hood, get everybody to go over there. Back the feeding. Promise you, had a lot of nice folks say a lot of nice things about it. I promise you, you may not sleep well after you read it, but you're going to enjoy it while you're reading it.
All right, guys, go sign up for that. And thank you, David. The description and the link to the Zoop right there is in the description down below. Please go help out my buddy, because it is David writes the best stuff in the game, man. Congratulations, bro, and congratulations on Kanto going over to Dark Horse, man.
We're so excited. We're getting hardcovers. We're going to be in schools, libraries, bookstores, and then we're getting new material. It's just going to be this beautiful extravaganza of Kanto for years to come.
All right, another Spidey book on the list again this week. This is Amazing Spider-Man 363. This is the third appearance of Carnage with that awesome,
yeah, right?
awesome cover. Yeah, Carnage. I loved Carnage when he first came out. He's one of my favorite characters, like off the bat, and I still have my first appearance of Carnage that I bought in my collection, but I don't have this book anymore. I did have it at one time. But this awesome cover done by Mark Bagley, and who's it? A couple other people did it. Rick Parker and Bob Sharon. I think that's who did it. I wrote down the names because I wasn't completely sure, but I knew Bagley did it. Stories by Dave Michelini. But yeah, this is another. If you like Carnage and you like the whole Carnage run with Venom and Spidey, this is a book that people are definitely looking at. But it has cooled down quite a bit. It was at 45, dropped 45 more places to number 90. So this one took a dive. Wasn't a terribly expensive book to begin with, but has taken quite a dip. So I mean, we'll kind of see what's going on. That's a little surprising to me because of Spider-Man game that just came out on PlayStation. I feel like a lot of people kind of got Spidey fever again, and they're really Venom's in that game, and
Where did Carnage come from, though? Is he in a game? I don't even think so.
I don't know. I think he's rumored to be. Maybe it's later on in the game. My daughter got the game. She started playing it, and the game is awesome. By the way, It's so cool. If you haven't seen any gameplay of it, check it out because there's some really cool stuff going on. A lot of really cool costumes and stuff like that. But maybe he's later on in the game, or maybe people were expecting him to be in the game and he's not, and maybe that's why it's kind of started to fizzle a little bit or start to chill out, I should say. But yeah, let's jump in and check out the data on this one. All right there on the screen, third appearance of Carnage, $1.25 when this book came out. As you can see, there is one lone copy of a 10.0 on the census, and that has not gone anywhere. That person kept it
in his collection.
One 9.9 on the census. That person kept it in his collection. They're not getting rid of those at all. This is a kind of a harder book, I guess, to get in that high of a grade. But when you look at the numbers on the 9.8s, you're like, what? It's not that hard to get. Yeah, it's not that hard to get in a 9.8, but in a 9.9 and a 10, it is. There's 3,259 9.8s on the census, and a little under half of those have sold in the last year. So fair market value on this book is not terribly high. It's $90. 1 year average is 88. It's down a little bit from the 90-day at 96, and it's up from the 30-day at 85. So it's kind of just like you said, steady Nelly, just cruising along there, all at the same spot. If grade's not that important to you, you can get a 9.6 of this book. There's a lot of them, 2005 on the census. You get a 9.6 of this book for about $50.
Bro, I'm just getting a 9.8 for $90, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yep. Save another $40-$50. Go in for that 9.8 if you're really wanting it. But yeah, it's only dropping from the 9.6 to a 9.4. It's only dropping about $5 for the fair market value. So and the year, 90 and 30 days all kind of cruise right around that price range, give or take $10. So
people are still buying it. There's a 30-day average. That means someone bought it within the last 30 days, man. So
yeah. It's kind of surprising to me is that with the 7.5s, there's 43 of them on the census, and there's 7 sales of 7.5s, and you can see 30 days at $16 average. I mean, it costs you $25 to grade a book, let alone if you had that book cleaned and pressed beforehand by anyone or by one of the companies that's going to do it. You're in the hole if you're grading this book and you get that price range. So you really want this anywhere from a 9.4 or up. But I'm like you. If I wanted this 9.8 all day, save the extra, $40 and get that.
I think it's just a great time to buy Carnage books in general, man, because Carnage is not really on the radar, and there's a lot of like classic Bagley covers going on right here from 361 to 363,
Yeah,
so,
I think
great
you're
time
right.
like
I
this
think
to invest.
the Carnage market right now is laying pretty low, and you can come in and swoop up some good deals, especially if you like Carnage and Spidey. And these early appearances of Carnage, you can get them for cheap. There's always rumors going around about who's going to show up in what next and stuff like that. And the last Carnage movie wasn't, Venom movie with Carnage, and it wasn't received very well. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. You're not going to see them again, So
I would expect it in Spider-Man 3, that video game, when it comes out, because it's Spider-Man 2 right now. I mean, they're using Venom, so if they don't use Carnage in this one, they'll use him in the next one. And we see how video games have spiked the market for Spider-Man in general, So
oh yeah, definitely. And there's there's going to be people who's like, hey, the Spider-Man 2 game just came out. I can almost guarantee you they're working on Spider-Man 3 already. The company that made 1 and 2 in the Miles Morales game, they're already working on 3. I just read actually my daughter told me it has sold the most copies of any game in one day. It has the record. So people are buying that game. So you're gonna start to see Spider-Man books start to creep up again, I think. All right, over on eBay, you see 9.6 best offer accepted, under $55. Somebody probably shot him a $40 offer. They're all in for $60. Shipped to your house for 9.6. Same thing with the one right below it, $61.95 free shipping, so right around $60. A 9.8, somebody scored $66 with $12 shipping.
Damn.
So they right under that FMD, they're
below it.
Yeah, dude. Right. Yeah, right underneath it. So that's good for them. They get it at the right time. Yep, they sniped someone in 15 bids there.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, just got in at the right time. But then a 9.4 best offer under $60, same kind of thing. See, the raws are there was a lot of them that sold 360, 362, and 363.
Yeah, they bundled up, man. I like these ones. These are smart buyers, bro. They bundled them up, So
yeah. That one was good because that was only $20. But I'm looking at that one right below it on October 23rd. Somebody got 361, 362, and 363 for $100. Best offer accepted. All raw. Looks like one or two of them are in newsstand too. Good for them, dude. Very fine to near mint. They got a score.
Yeah, score. Because I remember when that 361 was like a $200 book by itself, bro.
Oh yeah, raw. Yeah.
Yeah, raw.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's not even talk about how much the 9.8s of that book went up to right before the movie came out. They were astronomical. I couldn't believe how much they were going for. But yeah, they scored. And look at you can see these. Somebody else got one just a couple of days ago on the 22nd. $4.25 with $6 shipping. So they got a raw copy. Looks to be in pretty decent shape for $10. You could do the same thing at your LCS or a con and probably get this book for $5 to $10 if people are looking to move it.
All right, guys. So the next book up is the classic Thor 337 newsstand. Don't get it mixed up with the direct. This is the newsstand. This is the first appearance of our favorite Carbonite. Did I say it right?
I mean, I think it's Corbinite with a K, but I mean, I like Carbonite too because it reminds me of Star Wars.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just a Star Wars guy. Our favorite Corbinite, man, and this is Beta Ray Bill, and the first appearance of Lorella, Enchantress's sister. This was written and the art was done by one man, and that's the great Big Walt Simonson. I got to meet him over at New York Comic Con. Very nice guy, man. He was just doing free sketches for everybody, bro. It was like
that's
crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, he wasn't charging any, but I'm like, this guy's awesome,
Yeah, dude. Every story I've heard of people talking to him just say he's the coolest dude.
He is, man. He's awesome, bro. He even went out to the line. He's like, who just wants signatures? I'm gonna get through that first, and then I get to the sketches second. You know, I was like,
that's
man.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
he's really
cool.
nice. He's walked in the crowd and just like did his like classic signature that you see right here on the
Yeah.
you know, on the bottom of this cover.
Yeah.
Really nice guy. This was put on shelves, like I said, on November 1st, 1983, and the cover price for this one was 60 cents. 60 cents, man. Classic cover, man, by Simonson, man.
Yep.
Like you can't get better than this in the 80s,
Nah, dude.
man. You know,
No,
like,
dude, it's such a cool cover.
and how many times has this one been homage, man? And it's just like
Yep.
it's like
You're right.
you know, ASM 300 and a couple other
Uh-huh.
books that we've talked about in the past, man. It's
Yep.
like over and over again, man. You know,
Yeah,
so
it's like that Spidey 238 that we saw earlier. Same thing, just homage out the wazoo.
but the thing about this is kind of you know, Thor 337 and Beta Ray Bill, they're kind of just, you know, hanging on in the top 100. They're at number 96, down 52 spots from number 44, man. So it dropped a bunch. But I bet you next week it's going to pop back up, man, because people are going to be like, oh, good deals are happening with this book, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It always usually happens
Exactly.
with this show, man. We have it
Yep.
here at on the code show,
Uh-huh.
and you guys see that it's dropped, and then the next week it's back up there in the top 10 somewhere on, you know, on somebody's top 10, you know. But
Yep.
we don't do
Yep.
that. We just want to help you guys get the deals, you know. So
Yeah. Find the deal. Find the deals.
let's see what's going on over here on Go Collect. All right, friends, let's check out what's going on here with the census on CGC through Go Collect. It looks like there's 597 universal copies on the census out of 640 total. There's 81 9.8s. The FMV on the 9.8 is at $575. The 1 year average is $641. The 90-day is $553, and the 30-day is $466. And I'm gonna say that's a sweet spot right now, man. Is at 9.8, man. You know?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
dude.
you can-
Especially when you're looking at look at how much it's selling. It's got there's
Yeah.
only 81 on the census, but it's sold 160 times. Wow,
Yeah,
that's,
bro.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a book that's kind of been in a bunch of different homes. You know?
Yep. Yeah,
looks
moving
like
around
it,
a
man.
lot.
So I mean, I'm looking at the at that 30-day, and you could probably make a run at it for like $450, man. You know?
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, I think so. I think
Because
you're
you
right.
see that discrepancy between the 1 year and the 30-day moving average, man. That's this more, you know, like that's
Yep.
almost $150 difference, man. So I'm thinking
yeah.
$450 for that 9.8. But if you want to move down to a 9.6, it's even, you know, a lot less expensive. The FMV on that is
Yeah.
$210, but the 30-day moving average is $194. So you could probably get that, you know, for less than $200, man. You know.
Oh yeah, I think so. $200 all in or something like that if you really wanted it with shipping.
Yep.
So
9.4, the FMV is about $150. The 1 year moving average is about $142. Same thing for the 90-day, but the 30-day moving average is $128. So I'm just gonna leave it there between the 9.8 and 9.4. I think I would shoot for a 9.8. I already have this book. I have like 3 copies, man. So I don't need to, you know,
Oh,
go
nice.
and get a 9.8, man. I have a newsstand, and I have, I think, 2 directs on this one, man. So they just
Nice.
staying in my, they're just staying in my.
yeah,
in
just
my
holding
PC, bro.
steady.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, until he shows up, and then you can get rid of one of the direct copies, right?
I should have brought one to New York Comic Con, bro, to have Simonson sign it, man.
Have him
you know?
signed. Yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe
should have.
maybe next year at San Diego.
Yeah, but you know, he doesn't really show up much at cons, man. So that's why, I mean, here on the West Coast. So
Yeah.
that's why when I saw him in New York, I was like, bro, this is like, I haven't seen him at a con in a while, man. You know?
Yeah,
Like he was,
you're right.
you know, he was out there with his wife, another legend, man. So it's like,
Yeah,
you know, it's yeah, it was a good opportunity, but there's only so many things you can bring on an airplane, bro.
yeah,
know?
exactly. You only got so much room.
I got so much room, man, and it's like, but excuses. Next time, I'm bringing
Next time.
I'm bringing my 337 with me, man. But let's check out what's going on eBay and see if these numbers match up. So here we go, man, for that 9.8. It went on October 21st. We got a best offer on it And that book was going for $7.99. How much do you think that book went for, man, on October 21st?
I don't know. I mean,
Could it go for like, yeah.
I want
Go
to
ahead.
say 700 if they throw a 700 out there, you
Yeah.
know, but I mean, knowing people on eBay, they're kind of, you know, a lot of sellers are they're really trying to squeeze all the money out because they're paying for fees. So, you know, 720, maybe 725.
Yeah, I would say like no, yeah, nothing less than 720, man. So that went above FMV, you know,
Yeah,
for this
definitely.
book. So
Way
someone kind
higher
of
than
paid,
FMB.
yeah, someone paid a little bit more than they should have, man.
Yeah.
That's why you should be watching this show and going to Go Collect, man, so you can figure out what the
Exactly.
FMV is and like, you know what, bro,
Yeah.
that's a little too. That's on the expensive side. Here's the numbers, man. You know, like
Yeah.
it'll give you a
Yeah.
good argument, man. You could actually shoot them like you know, in a text in that eBay message, you know, like
Yeah.
the messenger they have on there, and it'll prove a point. 9.2 went for 150, which is about the average that's going for. And that was on September 24th. On October 16th, a 9.4 CBCS. So a Thor 337 CGC 9.4 and a 338 CBCS. The second appearance went for less than $165, bro. You know that's
they scored.
bundled up, bro. That's the way you do it, right? They scored. They probably got
scored
both for $150. What do you think? 150?
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe even shot them. Yeah, 150. They paid another $20 in shipping. So you know they're right at kind of their original asking price, all in for 2 books. What a steal!
Man, the bundle up thing, man, is a real thing, man. Like that's a steal.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a you got a really good deal. They got a higher grade for about the same price as that one that sold on September 24th, but got the 338 CBCS 8.5 with it for free.
Yeah,
basically, right?
But yeah, definitely. It was
Wow.
you know free or $10 or something to get that. Good on them, man. That's
good on that buyer, bro.
Deal. Yeah,
good on that buyer. And then a 9.6 went for 247. You know, on October 15th. High grade, of course it is a high grade. It's a 9.6.
Yeah, it's a 9.6.
Yeah, why you gotta like you know preach to the crowd, man. Like it's already a high grade, bro. You know, so October. Let's check out the raws, guys. On October 14th, the raw sold for, it says near mint, sold for 60. Let's say 65, $90. So $65. You know, on the bid on 13 bids with $30 shipping from the UK.
Yeah.
On October 12th, one sold for $80. So it's kind of staying high, huh? The price on this book is still staying at a pretty decent price. You know, 337 newsstand sold for about $90, about $100 with $8 shipping, so $89 on 34 bids with $8 shipping. And on September 24th, we have a book, VF to near mint newsstand. That's when we're talking about. Went for $67 on 8 bids, man. So good on the guy on October 16th. What a deal, huh? You know,
dude, he scored. Those are the ones you stay up late for and snipe people if you can, if it's a bidding war or anything like that. But he got best offer accepted. What a steal.
Yeah, but I think he probably like I'm thinking because you don't see it. You guys see it on the on the slab side on October 16th. It doesn't have both of them pictured in there. So I think a lot of people probably skipped over that and saw the he actually read it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was getting through that best offer out and was just hoping someone wanted to get rid of it. So, and they did. So he got it.
Yeah. But good on you, bro. Good on you, man.
Yeah. All right. And the last book we got on the list this week is Incredible Hulk, number 102.
And shout out to Dan Delatorre. This is his book. It's probably he always talks about this book, you know.
Dan loves his Silver Age Marvel stuff, and he's that with that wealth of information on it, and he could talk ad nauseum about this book, I'm sure, and give you all the details that I won't be able to do today. But this is Incredible Hulk number 102, a whole 12 cents when it came out. And it says big premiere issue, but it's got 102 on it because this was the restart of the Incredible Hulk. Because the first series of Hulk 1, went through, I think, 6 original issues, and then he went into like a co-headlining book, and then once that was done, came back to his own book. But yeah, this is the first reappearance is what they call it most of the time. Restart, I'll say. It came out in April of 1968, and the art is by Marie Severin and Artie Simek, and the story is by Gary Frederick. But yeah, this is any Hulk fan, I can tell you this is probably one of the top 10 Hulk books that they look for when they're hunting. If they don't already have it, this is one that they're always looking for, because it's such a classic Hulk cover and such a classic Hulk restart to the series that they're always searching out. But yeah, this is down 31 spots from number 69, sitting at the very bottom of the cold list at number 100.
And hanging on by a fingertip, bro.
Yeah, dude, an icy fingertip. He's a fistful of ice,
right?
on this list. He's so it's just barely hanging in there, but it's in there.
It's like this, like in Titanic, like, Jack, don't let me go.
Yeah, exactly. Hulk, don't let go, Hulk. Sun's getting real low. But yeah, so it's just barely hanging in there. But let's dig in a little bit and kind of see what's going on with this book. All right, you can see right there, key issue underneath that, it says titled series starts again. Whole 12 cents. And Stan the Man was the editor at this time, so he's edited it. On the census, no 10s, no 9.9s. Because this, you got to remember, when this came out in 1968, a lot of these books were square bound books, or they're just starting to transition to on some titles, they're you can see the staples through the spine, but like this one, there's a 9.8 in this book is extremely hard to get. There's only 26 of them on the census, so that just goes to show you, especially because the age, but also being square bound books, they're way more prone to the spine splitting and tearing and stuff like that. You see
the glue kind of bleed
through. Yep, yeah, exactly. So they're not gonna hold up as well as those other books with no glue and stuff like that. But 10 sales, FMV is 7750, and 1 year average is 9900. So you're looking at about a third of a Civic for this.
So
book.
one sold, huh, this year? Huh.
Yeah, it looks like probably just one, like you're saying. And from the 1 year to the FMV now, we're looking down about $2,000, $2,000 of a drop. So, and no 90-day and no 30-day on the 9/8s in this book. 9/6s, there's 99 of them on the census. With 56 sales, so a decent amount of those have been moving too. FMV is 2150. 1 year average is 1924, same as the 90-day, and there is no 30-day. There's no 30-day on the 9/4 either. So they're not selling in this last month, but they are selling in this last year. 9/4s got 149 of them on the census. FMV is about $1,600. 1 year average is just slightly below that, and so is the 90-day. So I don't know. Here's the question: if you're a Hulk collector and you want this book, what grade are you hunting if you want a slap copy of it?
Oh man, I'm looking at that. Yeah, look at that 30-day average on an 8.5 too, man. It's about the same, the 30-day and FMV. So
hasn't changed. That's what I was looking. I was looking at 8.0 or 8.5 on this book, because you're not that way. You're staying well below 1,000, but you're not spending a terrible amount of money, and you're still getting a big key book for a pretty reasonable price at a very respectable grade.
I'll probably hit that 7.5, man. Because look at that 7.5. The 30-day average is 175 compared to Look at the 7.0 and 6.5. 30-day average is higher than that 30-day average for that 7.5. So you probably get a higher grade for a little bit
Yeah.
less expensive, man. So
Yeah, good call. You might be able to pull that, rabbit out of the hat and have it
yeah,
bump
because
up
if
a
you know
little bit
that
for.
average is
Mhm.
30-day average is 175. That means, and you look at that discrepancy at 90-day average, it's about
Yeah,
$100 less. That means that book is going less than $175 to make that
hmm
average.
exactly,
So
to drop it. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I think you like that. Me personally, whenever I'm looking at a book, especially a book that's old, I'm always looking
hmm
for like 8.0 or better. That's just
hmm
like some kind of weird thought that I have in my head. But
no, I mean I get it,
it,
man.
yeah,
That's where the grades get. That's where it gets respectable at 8.0 for this book. 7.5 is
yeah.
just like I just need it for my
Still pretty
PC.
good.
You
Yeah,
know.
exactly. You want that copy to hold on to, but you are right though. That's a you could probably get a smoking deal for a 7.5 for pretty cheap. With it being that low, the FMV and the 30 days. So that's a very good point that you bring up. I like that. I like that. Yeah, 7.5 to 8.5 in this book. You're doing all right, I think, and you can get a
hmm
good deal on it. All right, let's check out eBay and what they're doing on this book. Um, on the 15th, a 6.0 went for 210.
Hmm.
All in under just about just about $225 all in for a 6.0 delivered to your door. A 6.0 signature series signed by Stan
Stan
Lee.
Lee.
Yeah, dude, that's
Wow.
pretty significant. Best offer accepted out of $1,400. So they
Oh,
probably,
just
through 1,200 or 1,250 or something like that.
remember when Stan
It-
Lee's signature would only bump it up like 20%? You know,
yeah,
remember
dude.
back in those days?
If
Look at
that,
there's a 6.0 with
yeah.
the white pages for 210,
Mm-hmm.
but this one with Stan's sold for thousand
Yep.
dollars more probably. You know,
$1,000 more.
I remember when someone told me
That's
like, bro, if you get Stan Lee signature, it's only gonna bump it up like 20%. They say the same thing about McFarlane.
oh yeah, yeah.
But
Mm-hmm. Look
look
at
at how
now.
much the appreciation is with Stan's signature
Oh
on it
yeah,
and a
dude.
yellow label.
Every everyone's hunting uh, Stanley signature on their books too. They want their favorite, especially older books like this. Where he actually uh, did work on it. They're really looking for those. They're really looking for those signed books by him, and that's a significant price hike for him for
I
his
know,
signature
right?
on that book.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big jump, bro.
hmm
You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's quite a bit. Especially when you look at like a 4.0 in this book went for $100.
And I didn't do
103.
that on purpose, bro. I didn't put these together like that on purpose.
hmm
It just landed all four in a row. So I
Yeah,
was
it
like,
is.
yes,
Yeah, it's just how they sold, right? Exactly.
yeah,
So, yeah, makes me wonder if somebody found a couple of these in a collection and got one signed and graded, and the other one same exact thing. Who knows?
yeah.
I don't
But
know. The
it's a yellow
descriptions are
label,
different,
man.
but
So you had to have a
mhm.
witness come with you. When this was
Yep,
signed. So
yep. hmm
and that does that look like the old label? What do you think?
Yeah, it is. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because when you look at the numbers, it doesn't look like there's anything printed below it.
No,
It's kind of small, but it doesn't. I think you're right. I think it is an old label. So that it was a while ago. Then it's been
yeah.
when that was. So, but yeah, a 4.0 just over $100, a 7.0 sold on the 12th for just under 200, little over 200 all in with shipping. Raws looks like a 169 is the highest price for the raws that have sold lately. Another one went for 154 with $20 shipping from the UK. On the 17th, 150 best offer, free shipping. So you're looking right around that
Mhm.
150 to $175 if you want like a decent grade raw of this book.
Just
You
buy a
know,
7.0, bro.
yeah, dude. If you're really into wanting to see the book for yourself and hold it and read it and smell it like we're talking about,
Yeah. Smell
you're
the
really
70s, the 60s chronic on that.
yeah, you smell the stank coming off it. Then I can see the appeal of getting the raw book and thinking about maybe grading it one day. But just like you said, 7.0 to 8.0, that's the sweet spot of this book, and that's where I would go if I was really really hunting this one.
And don't get me wrong, bro. I don't smoke any, and I don't drink any, but
yeah,
when I open these old books, it's like the Chronic, bro. Like you kind of get like a nice little high off of them, bro. Like that smell that you ain't gonna that smell that's been sitting in that whatever that bag or the boarding bag for how long?
Or in someone's garage. Yeah, exactly.
Years?
They opened up that box and you smell it. And I'm the same way. Just you get that. It's that certain like
must.
That certain that musk that comes off them that it's not. It doesn't smell bad and it doesn't smell good. It just smells like the books. And
it smells like a weird Wednesday, bro.
It definitely smells like a weird Wednesday every time, for sure. But yeah, you grow. I think it's something that you grow to love the more you collect. Yeah. The new books don't smell like that. The real old books, they just fall apart in your hands. These books right in this range, they have that funk to them that you just grow to love.
Yeah, it's $150 worth of it. It's worth the $150, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
All right, friends. Thank you for joining us here at the Code Comic Show. And we have to do one more thing. We did the whole, what is it called? The whole Ferris wheel spinning thing for this book that I was supposed to give away last week. If you were on my Instagram, you what did I say? You put a comment, tag someone, and followed me. That's all you had to do, man. And then you have to check the show for this book. And who won Space?
It was Comic Nation US. Comic Nation US, all one word on there. So, congrats.
So here you go, man. Comic Nation US, you just won the Duke Ashcan. DM me on Instagram if you guys see him, if you guys are friends with him, if you're watching. Just give him a DM and say you want something from Hood, man. You want something from New York Comic Con. I'll send this to you, man. Just DM me on Instagram, like I said before, and we're good to go. But more news from us over here at the the Hood Rat Comic podcast is that we're gonna have Dan De La Torre back for Dan's Comic Corner, man. He's coming back. Watch out for that episode next week. And yeah, man, I'm pretty excited for it. Like I said, it's like the best and most informed segment in comic YouTube history.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And bring your thinking cap. Bring a notepad, some paper, because Dan's gonna take you to school on whatever he's going through.
Yeah, we're gonna learn, man. We're gonna learn from Dan. Yeah, but thank you again. Right, thank you again for joining us here on the Code Comic Show. And we want to thank Sarah again and Go Collect. Make sure you guys go check out the links below for Go Collect, and make sure you sub up to Space Ferret's YouTube as well. He's gonna have some awesome content. He's working it up, man. He's working it up, and we're gonna see some good stuff there, man.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's getting chilly out here, man. It's fall. We're gonna be heading into winter pretty soon. And no matter what season it is, what do we do on this show, bro?
We stay cool, man.
We stay cool, man.